the guys and gals at Efficiency Maine are just doing so many good things with rebate programs. If you want to kind of get the lay of the land on where your home is, you can do something called an audit, an energy audit. I'm going to do it. Like, Dana's coming over today.
I can't wait. It's gonna be
Dana's
great.
You guys you're having a play date today?
Yeah.
It's going to be so cool in the video. We'll record the whole thing, but it's basically a massive fan, and it gets set up in a doorway, and you depressurize the house.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be so
What time are you doing this? I want to come over.
I'll tell
This
you.
sounds amazing.
You should come over and check it out.
Yeah, can't wait. This is going to be fun.
Hey everybody, it's the Captain from WBLM and welcome to my home here in Maine. Here for a great reason today with our friends from Efficiency Maine, Dana Fisher from Efficiency Maine, and my new friend Richard Burbank from Evergreen Home Performance. Dana, why are you in my home today?
Well, I'm thrilled to be here. Thanks for opening up your house to help us show everybody what an energy audit's all about. Typically Efficiency Maine is really just a matchmaker between homeowners and the different contractors around the state, like Richard. And so today what we're going to do is go through and show some of the different things that are common for an energy auditor to do to identify what sort of priorities you might have to lower your energy costs.
All right, you ready to get going?
Yes, I am.
You ready to get going?
You betcha.
All right, we're ready to start the energy audit. Now, Richard has set up this contraption in the back door of my house. What is this going to do?
Okay, so this is one part of the energy audit to test air leakage in the home. So air leakage, you can't really see it. So we have some tools to figure out where it's coming from using the infrared camera. But first we need to move air through the house. So this is what this does. So most of it blocks off the rest of the door, but we have a fan in the middle that we blow air out.
So you're depressurizing
You got it.
house.
So anywhere there's a leak, come out wherever you are, the leaks will show up.
Fire this thing up.
All right, hang on. So there we are. So what I'm measuring here is I'm turning up the fan until I get this 50 Pascal pressure difference. What's 50 Pascals? It's about this much suction.
Right, right.
It's like 25-mile-an-hour winds hitting the house from all directions all at once. And with this amount of suction, where there's an air leak, air will flow. This tells me how much is flowing through this fan. So it's estimating around 2,800 cubic feet per minute at this pressure difference. What does that mean? Well, it depends upon how big your house is. I haven't done all the math yet, but I still, my gut tells me you're leakier than you need to be for this size house. So let's find out where some of these leaks are.
I can't wait.
So the infrared camera is a tool that sees heat and cold. So we use this in a couple different ways. One, we use to evaluate if there's any insulation missing anywhere. And then two, we can use it to figure out where cold air is coming in. So this has been running for several minutes. As cold air comes in, it cools down surfaces, usually in hollow spaces that are behind the scenes.
Cool.
So this allows us, it's not like an X-ray, but almost.
Yep.
You can see where things are going. So it's very, very, very sensitive. Like, here's your thermostat. That's what determines the temperature in the room. And can you do me a favor? Can you put your hand right up on the wall for a second? Yep, yep. All right, good. Look, there's your handprint right there.
Wow, it's amazing.
So it's pretty sensitive. It's pretty sensitive. So let's go around and look at the house. So naturally, lights are going to be warmer. Scanning around, it looks like your walls are insulated. So congratulations.
That's good. We're all, okay, at least we got that.
So as we scan around, we're looking for blue, which is cold. And the hard thing about this is in the center of your home. It's not an outside wall. And look at all the blue that's right along the top edge there. So I think there's some air leaks to look out for. And I think you have an attic over here.
Correct.
So
I think it might be from the attic, the culprit.
Often the attic is covered full of stuff. This allows you to see if it's worth digging in there and finding out what's a problem.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of kind of dark splotches along there.
Should we go upstairs and see what we can find?
Actually, on the way, your entryway has some areas.
So for Efficiency Maine, Dana, what's something you could do or some programs you all have that people could take care of things like just the entryway to their home?
Yeah, so we have rebates for a number of different weatherization things, and the first step is really getting an energy audit and 6 hours of air sealing. So if you have an energy auditor like Richard, and there's about 80 across the entire state, come into your house, do all the audit, and then identify, just as he's doing right now, like what the key things are. And whether it's that contractor or another weatherization contractor, have them do a minimum of 6 hours of labor, plus some materials, to seal up those like critical errors in your envelope. We'll kick in $400 towards a project.
Towards the audit itself?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then if you see larger projects, and we'll see what's going on in the attic, but if there are larger projects like an attic, we'll kick in $700 towards an attic project, or $700 towards an exterior wall project, or $700 towards basement insulation. Of course, you're on a slab, so that's really not applicable here, but we basically have rebates for whole zones for people to take them to a point where they're never going to have to get touched again. They're done. Best practices employed.
Let's keep going.
I'm a little curious here on what's happening right here because of the fact that your attic starts over here, over the first floor section, and look at all that blue right there. As we scan around, we can see some blue spots all the way around there.
And
so
blue is cold.
Exactly.
Got
So is there a way to get over there into that side of the attic?
Yeah, we can get right over here.
You have some pocket doors here. Let's see if they leak.
What do you mean, how would pocket doors leak?
Well, feel that.
Yeah, that's coming down. I feel it.
I mean, well, what pitch is that? Like when you tune your guitar,
Right.
well, what pitch is that?
That's amazing. Look at that.
It's actually howling. You can just hear
It's
it.
it's howling. Here it is. So that's all coming down. So that's just because of a pocket door.
Yep, because the framing is hollow.
Right.
And if you look here, this whole wall has gotten cold. And as we look, it's very cold at the top here. See that strip of cold?
Yeah.
And then it's even filled this whole wall full of cold because it's hollow. So that can be sealed from the attic.
Right.
So crawling up your attic hatch and going up, there's insulation up there,
Right.
but there's a leak underneath it that needs to be sealed. So
Amazing.
let's take a peek over here.
You're in my bedroom now, Richard.
I'm sorry.
Make yourself at home.
Yeah, no, that's
We
the
want you to be
reality.
comfortable in your bedroom, right?
Just kidding.
It's like going to the doctor.
Absolutely. No, this is great.
All right, so I'm unfortunately going to share some bad news with you. So there's insulation everywhere except right there. So you have this beautiful cathedral ceiling in your bedroom here.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the wall above 8 feet is missing insulation to the attic.
Interesting. This was an addition that we did.
Yeah.
10 years ago. So you must see that a lot as well, where you'll see the old part of the house, people do additions, and you'll see a
Absolutely.
difference in
So
performance.
often it looks gorgeous inside.
Yeah.
But you ever been backstage?
Oh, yeah. It's not
at
pretty.
a set?
It's not pretty.
But backstage sometimes it's not as well put together, and it's
Right.
not often intentional that this is done.
Right.
But it all comes up in this manner, and in fact, this is pretty easy to fix from the attic as well.
That's great. Yeah, get up in the hatch, and again, it's insulation, and you all would have a program for that at Efficiency
So the
Maine.
attic insulation project, we'll go and see exactly what's going on up there. But for an attic insulation project, we chip in $700 where somebody pulls back the insulation enough to see all the penetrations and what's going on in there, sealing everything up, and set things like can lights or other plumbing, ventilation, chimney chases, anything where air can come up through the entire structure, and then insulating to R49, or roughly about 18 inches or more. And then by doing that, you're keeping all of your heat inside of your house and preventing it from flying
You
out.
actually give me up to $700.
And we'll kick in $700 towards that. And
great.
I mean, it lowers your heating costs. And when you have a high level of airflow in the house in the winter, all that cold air comes in and really dries the place out.
Yeah.
And can it allows people to get a little bit, get sick more easily, or because colds and viruses can be in that environment. So you're actually improving your overall indoor air quality by making a lot of these changes.
Cool.
So I have some great news for you.
Good.
Because in my profession, we're often finding opportunities.
Right.
Bad news.
Yeah. No, this is good.
But check this out. So the recessed lights up there,
Yeah.
classically leaky.
Yeah.
Because they're poorly sealed typically, and the light bulb doesn't block off the gap. And there's some great Efficiency Main reduced price LED bulbs that can go into these recessed lights to make them less leaky.
Kind of block them, just block them right
And
out.
so I was all ready to say, hey,
Go get some lights.
take a look at that. But look, you can't even see where the light bulb is. There's no sign of it. So nice work.
See?
Nice work.
Thank you. Yes, I planned it that way.
No wall insulation there, but the
But
can
10,
lights.
10 feet, 10 feet to the right. Isn't that interesting? Okay, now we're in my sacred spot, the garage, right? Right, guys? Cable TV in the corner. I got my autographed Mikey Lowell photo right there. Not one, but 2 outdoor garage fridges. And
We're going to have to talk about that.
All right, this is.
Richard, who seems to have found a problem.
I hate to be Debbie Downer here. So you have a carbon monoxide detector in your bedrooms that are right above here. But one of the things that we check in the leaks of a house is we don't want any poisonous air from the garage, your exhaust, to be leaking into the house. So are there any leaks? Unfortunately, I found a few. So over here, for example, you've got your heating system.
Right.
That is operating safely, but unfortunately we have a little gap in the sheetrock here.
Right.
And right now we have the blower door still running, so this is a little diagnostic puffer smoke
Right.
that I can use, and take a look at this. So if I puff this, see how it's just billowing right
Goes
into the
right
house?
into the house.
It's going right into the house. All right, so it's leaking during this blower door test, but on a cold winter day, as warm air leaks out the top of the building, it's pulling cold air down low. Anywhere there's a leak. There's a leak here. So even though you have a garage door open, you just start up and pull out, that exhaust can just get sucked in.
Exhaust
through those
goes.
holes.
Doesn't go out the. It doesn't go out the garage door.
No,
It's
no.
going to go. It's
Some
gonna
of
be
it will, a lot of it will, but
But
some
some
of
is
it
gonna
will
get
get
right
sucked
in the
in there.
house.
Yep, and definitely keep your garage doors open. while you go out. But it's very important to make sure this air boundary is really tight.
Love to hear that. Good, thank you. So we're wrapping up the energy audit, but before I see these guys out, Richard and Dana have seen one more thing in my home.
All right, so everything we saw inside, the proof is on the roof.
Proof is on the roof.
So the section that's doing pretty good over your bedroom,
Yep.
that's pretty well insulated. Look, no icicles right there.
Oh.
And then right where the pocket door starts in
Yep.
that wing, look, the icicles start right there.
Wow.
So the worst part is you paid to make those icicles. That's heat.
Well,
that's,
they are pretty.
part of your oil bill.
They are
so,
pretty.
So,
Some nice decorations.
but you can also see the divots where it's
Yep.
Joists are in the attic.
exactly the rafters and such. So there's definitely some opportunities for your house. This is very common for houses to be imperfect.
Today I did okay.
You did pretty
Some
good.
things to work on.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. So if you're interested in starting to tackle some of these problems, I think some of the air sealing that Efficiency Main recommends with their $400 rebate would make a lot of sense. Maybe on closer examination, a little bit more insulation and
Right.
qualifying for some insulation rebates.
Right.
But thank you for very much for letting us
You
into
got
your
a
house
pleasure.
today.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Richard Burbank. Thank you very much. Thank you, Efficiency
Yeah.
Main, for all you guys are doing. This is pretty cool. So next steps after an energy audit would be to start working on this stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, this is sort of thank you so much for having us in the house and enabling us to kind of display the energy audit. But next steps would be to take what's found during the energy audit and then either work with a contractor that you have worked with through the energy audit, or get quotes on additional project components like doing the attic, and then get it done. And once the project's complete, you fill out the claim forms and send it in to us. And of course, as I've mentioned before, we have financing available. So if you looked at the whole project and you're like, I'd really like to spread this out over time, we're happy to have that happen, and we have our application right online.
Thanks. I learned a ton today. Thank you, guys. Richard Burbank from Evergreen Home Performance, the great Dana Fisher from Efficiency Main.
And the captain.
Thank you.
Captain.
We're a good team, you guys. We're a good team. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.